Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls, coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share a really fun stamping technique. You stamp on vellum and on the card underneath, and this is just gold heat embossed, and then you put your color underneath, and then when you lay it on top, the stamping lines up and you get this nice outline in gold with the soft color underneath. It's just a top fold card, and I just think it's so pretty. So let me show you how it's made. Okay, so for this one, I would recommend a stamping platform. It's of some sort. This is a Misty. It's because you got to stamp in exactly the same spot. So, so I've got two pieces of card that are 5 by 7.5, and I scored at 7. So because my card's gonna be 5 by 7, so these two are gonna fold over and be on top of each other. And I'm gonna stamp the flowers on both layers, and I need those stamps in exactly the same spot. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start with my cardstock, and this is vellum, so I should say. So I'm gonna start with my cardstock, and I'm using the Rose Reverie stamp set. You need kind of something with an outline stamp and either layering stamps or something you can, color in on the back. So this one comes with some stencils, so I'm going to use the stencils. But I just love this stamp; it's so pretty. So, and I'm going to put it on twice, once here and once down here, and it's going to kind of flow off the edge. But I want it to fill that. So but you have to do one, and then we're gonna do in the same spot on the vellum, and then we'll move it and do the bottom piece. So on the bottom piece, I'm gonna stamp with just this waterproof, it's called Pebble. It's a Finesse by Spectrum Moore. It's a waterproof dye, or dye ink. So it doesn't smear if you watercolor or when you're ink blending over it. It's kind of a dark gray because I don't want the harshness of black. You can use whatever color you want, or you could use a really light color and get kind of a no line coloring look. Okay, that looks like a pretty good impression. I'm going to wipe that stamp off, but do not take it off the stamping platform. Leave it in exactly the same spot. I'm going to pick this up, pull it out, and set it to one side. I'm going to bring my vellum in and put onto your stamping platform in exactly the same spot. Okay, make sure my magnet's not going to... Okay. And for this one, I'm going to use Versamark because I am going to heat emboss with some gold embossing powder. So because I'm going to heat emboss, I'm going to use my embossing, whatever. I'm going to get that all covered up. And then get that on there. And I'm going to stamp with Versamark, and then I'm going to use my Detail Gold Heat Embossing Powder. So I've got a scrap piece of paper here ready to go. I'm going to heat emboss this. And with vellum, you want to heat your heat tool up, get it nice and hot before you touch the vellum. That'll help keep it from wrinkling and warping too badly. That looks fabulous. I'm going to put it back on my stamping platform. Actually, I'm going to hit it with my embossing tool again down here because I was hanging on to it. Because I'm going to stamp off this bottom, I'm going to put my my scored and folded line right up there at the top. Okay, and that looks good. Now, again, don't remove your stamp. Now take your cardstock, and I'm gonna just reinforce that score line so that it lays flat. Put that right in the same position in your stamping platform. A larger stamping platform would have been helpful, but this is what I have. So, and we're gonna hit that with the pebble ink. Now to do some stenciling, I'm going to get my sticky mat out. This particular one's from Altenew. And for this one, I'm going to actually unbend it, put my cardstock down, put it a little bit higher. There. And then I'm going to do my roses in kind of a pinky red. I think I'm going to use the Blush Rouge Crimson and Velvet. And for the leaves, I've got fresh leaf and reindeer moss. Let me get my stencils out. So the stencils, there's 5 stencils. Sometimes it's a bit of a jigsaw puzzle to try and figure it out. So this one's petals. And the sticky mat helps because it holds the stencil and the cardstock. I'm going to use a rouge and the crimson. I come over with the crimson and just deepen the centers. And try and leave the edges more lighter with that, just that rouge. Okay, now while I've got this stencil out, I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom flower as well. And then we've got some leaves in here. And I'm going to use fresh leaf and reindeer moss. And I'm going to do the same kind of trick where I'm going to start with the green with the lighter, the fresh leaf. And then I'm going to come back with the reindeer moss and just deepen the bottoms. Now, when I put this over the top, my lines are going to line up perfectly but you get that nice muted color underneath. And I think I'm going to trim that off because it looks like it's just a little bit longer. And then I've got another sheet that's 5x7 that I just stamped a birthday wish on. And I'm going to glue these together and then glue this on to there, just like that. And then that's going to be my card. And then I'll add a nice sentiment up here. So I'm going to glue these together first. And basically, you want to make sure that you get those lined up. Get your stamping lined up exactly right. I can always redo the fold, but I gotta get that correct. Okay. Now, see, I've got that perfectly. Okay. Give it a nice burnish. See how pretty that is? And then this actually raises up, and you've got that beautiful coloring underneath. But I'm going to put this on here for my card. Now I've got a nice top fold card, and I am going to trim that off because see how they're crooked at the bottom? And I'm going to put that on the front of my card with a little bit of foam. And there we go, all done. Isn't that pretty? Beautiful card using some vellum. And it's still pretty even if you lift it up. But I just love how that shines through. It just lines up perfectly. Thanks for watching.